skepticism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. In that way, I do think Caitlyn's being used as a pawn. Caitlyn didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, is what's been such a shock for all of us, that other people are surprised by this. We've been trying to tell you. I would have loved to have shut up and dribble. I would have been loved to have been spoken about just for my play. But nobody ever let us.
You listen when a WNBA legend puts the brakes on the league's hype machine. Sue Bird simply turned the page. Furthermore, what she revealed is seismic rather than merely surprising. Not only is Caitlin Clark a standout rookie, but she's also turning as the league's favorite scapegoat, who is actually making the decisions then. Why is the timing so suspicious or ideal? Furthermore, why does Sue seem to have had these receipts for years? Hold on tight. It's more than simply drama. It's a complete reckoning.
So Sue Bird has been speaking out a bunch lately, bro. Which she always speak out, but it seems like she's speaking out a little more than usual, bro. So she spoke about the physicality of the league. Now we know the league is very physical, and to the sense, she spoke about the former players that's in the league actually wearing these bruises like, you know, scars and war wounds type of stuff. Now we remember.
Let's talk about the enormous elephant in the arena, or more precisely, the commissioner-shaped wrecking ball that is posing as the WNBA's captain. Kathy Angelbert appears to have misinterpreted her job description as Chief Officer of Needless Catastrophes rather than the enjoyable sort. We're discussing how you haven't been fired yet. More akin to damage control on a sinking boat without a paddle in sight is leadership.
Well, real quick, what did you notice about Caitlyn's work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly. Yeah. And it was the way she approached everything too was it was with a sort of excellence. It wasn't oh, I'm just gonna go through the motions and whatever. It was no, I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, and especially whenever our gray squad guys were playing against us, it was if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? And I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
The WNBA is currently less of a professional league and more of a chaotic reality show with a ton of technical jargon thrown around like party gifts at a toddler's birthday celebration. One commissioner's ability to alienate fans, rookies, and common sense in a single season is nearly a talent. Kathy Angelbert isn't in the lead. She is evading public trust, as if there were a reward for reaching the point at which accountability totally vanishes.
Bird is now calling out Caitlin Clark's teammates because she believes Caitlin Clark's teammates have to do something. I've said this myself. Something has to happen in order to free up Caitlin Clark to be able to get some open looks. She's great at making sure everybody else gets great shots. All right, and she's pretty good at creating her own shot. But it seems like, and part of this too is Stephanie White in one of her failures, the inability to get open shots for your star.
Poof whenever a fresh scandal breaks out. The commissioner either fails to take action or arrives with a statement so flimsy that it might be mistaken for the small print of an expired cough syrup container. Let's not mince words. This culture is rife with intimidation, if that's the attitude right now. Either comply with the league's unseen, dynamic rulebook or be caught off guard by well-crafted public relations propaganda that passes for official regulation. It's control disguised as press release lingo, not leadership.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face of the NBA.
Come soon if you want Caitlin Clark. In the comments section below, kindly enter CC Comeback Now, like, and subscribe to our channel. Little girls aren't being taught how to take charge, motivate others, or even compete in class. They're being taught how to use bureaucracy as a weapon, conceal themselves behind ambiguous phrases, and respond to legitimate criticism with the emotional maturity of a deflated whoopee pillowed. Let's not even act as though the refereeing isn't a contributing factor. These games are becoming into interpretive dancing sessions in which the referees simply freestyle whatever call comes to mind. Who cares if you're traveling? To the face with the elbows? Well, breathing close to an automatic foul with poor Wi-Fi energy. Amazingly, it also always seems to work against one individual, the rookie with the biggest fan base the leagues have had in decades. Is it a coincidence? Yes. Bitcoin was recently created by my cat. Not all of the fans, particularly the new ones, signed up for this. We came here for basketball, not to play supporting roles in a poorly written soap opera about dishonest politics, jealousy, and ego. This league isn't expanding. The league gatekeeping is served extra crispy, with a side of pettiness. The WNBA ought to be enjoying its newfound prominence, expanding its brand, and selling out arenas. Instead, it's mired in a brawl over who gets to eat at the popular table in the high school hallway. It's draining. Here's the problem, though. This commissioner had the opportunity to ride the wave. Like a golden goose laying million-dollar eggs, she had a generational talent fall into her lap, and she constructed a dodgeball court in place of a palace.
I was hoping that video I sent about Caitlin Clark getting fucked over yesterday too. God dang, dude. It wasn't that bad.
That was brutal.
Just like she's purposely getting targeted, and I think you're 100% right. It's jealousy. There's nothing else. No, nothing else it could be. It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's so weird. You really don't see that in the men's game, but it's not at this level, and it's not like that like on purpose.
It's a pure jealous.
Every choice, every inaction, every lost chance, every tone-deaf public relations ploy, all of these things shout insecurity cloaked in presidential power. Even worse is the gaslighting. Fans are told they don't get the culture if they dare to criticize the insanity, as though it's some sort of refined custom that we should all honor to witness professional sportsmen get chopped like trees while doing lumberjack exercises and watch referees shrug like it's brunch. Please make sure it's the kind of culture that thrives in abandoned lunchboxes if this is it. Dangerous, moldy, and unfit for general consumption. In the meantime, this whole protect the vets at all costs mindset has become self-parodying. We're at an emergency press conference on respect and changes after Clark merely blinks in the wrong direction. She does, however, accept elbows, blind screens, and full-body checks with the poise that NFL linebackers typically exhibit. In some ways, it's simply a feature of the game. We would only need to watch Survivor Elbow Island if we were looking for full-contact drama with unfair rules. The hypocrisy is no longer even disguised. It's noisy. It's proud. Courtside, it is drinking Gatorade and urging anyone to speak up. While ignoring grown adults acting like bouncers at a middle school dance, the commissioner is praising leadership.
Former WNBA player and number 5 draft pick, I'll put her comment here. She was referencing Caitlin being picked up full court. A lot of her fandom fans, I guess that's what I'll call them, says that, she's not like the greatest ever. Why are people picking her up full court? And this former player is saying most scouting reports say when you pick someone up full court, it's because they typically turn the ball over and they're not the best dribbler. They don't like the pressure. As we have seen throughout Caitlin's pretty much her entire career, she has averaged not just a lot of turnovers, but more than any WNBA, NBA, NCAA, men or women ever.
If you pay close attention, you can practically hear the league's official Twitter feed losing credibility. Even so, what message are we sending? That fostering a hostile environment is the key to success? That using bullying as a leadership strategy works? That referees serve only to boost the egos of veterans? Inspiration is not what this is. It's glam-filtered intimidation. Additionally, it is undermining the same future that the league says it is defending. To be honest, Clark would be suspended for longer than a Marvel movie marathon if the roles were reversed and she were hurling these elbows and tantrums. However, Excuses are given with the smile of a parent whose child obviously smashed the vase, but is still blaming the dog when the league favorites act out, or worse, when they play cricket. We understand. The old, corroded system that is afraid of change is in danger from Clark's success, not the game. She didn't have a pass for her popularity. Her abilities didn't require validation. She simply entered and began moving the furniture about. The individuals who previously controlled the living room are now flipping the coffee table. Additionally, the commissioner isn't putting an end to the chaos. She is distributing crowbars.